Hey guys, today I'm going to go through how to get on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. You do not need to be a business owner or a founder or a hotshot celebrity to make it on the list. If you are making meaningful dollar impact and quantifiable impact at your organization, you are qualified. First, we're going to go through what the program actually is. 2, the biggest mistakes people make during the application process. And then 3, how to make sure your profile stands out across the millions that come through. So let's get started. I'm Umama, the co-founder and CEO of Sweatpack and a Forbes 30 under 30 lister on the sports category in 2020. So I'm gonna go through exactly how the Forbes 30 under 30 community works. Number 1, understanding what the program actually is. So every year, the Forbes community develops this list of over 600 industry leaders across 20 different categories. These are movers and shakers, athletes, celebrities, and people that are just in the industry making a big impact. So what it is not is simply, it is not just a list. This is actually a full-on community experience that Forbes curates for these leaders. This is actually something that includes an app, a whole program, we have events, we have the community, we have all the connections. And truly, all the leaders on this platform want to help and grow together. But like any other club or organization, you get what you put into it. So they have several hackathons, they have events and community boards that you can join so that you get the most opportunities and the most connections. The Forbes team genuinely wants to see all their leaders celebrated and grow together. So it's just about making those asks. So if you want to join this amazing community, here are the 3 biggest mistakes people make. Number 1, people don't know when to actually sign up and apply for the program. The application actually rolls out in August, September of every year, and you can either be nominated by somebody else or you can nominate yourself. So that takes us to mistake number 2. People don't think they're good enough, and so they wait around to apply when they think that they have to have all these accolades or whatever to be on there. But my recommendation is apply. Just do it. I'm going to take you through the application process so we know exactly how you can make your resume and portfolio stand out to get on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. So mistake number 3 is people don't know how to tell their story appropriately. There's so many different avenues that Forbes wants to approach the Forbes 30 under 30 listers. Not only do they want people that are making a financial impact on the industry, but they want thought leaders that are actually garnering community. They are garnering free PR or going out there and starting a really radical or impactful message. But they also want to know you have a life. There's something special about you, that people relate to you and want to be like you. So they want to inspire the next generation of leaders. So they want to know exactly what you're passionate about and how you're going out there and solving that. Application process is pretty straightforward, but there's so many little details that people forget to add in that can help them stand out in the Forbes 30 under 30 application process. So number 1, you've got to understand that you've got to be at least 29 years old or younger by December of that end of the year. The list typically comes out that first Tuesday of December, so they want to make sure you're under 30 for that. So while you're filling out the application, understand you do not need to be a business owner or a founder or a hotshot celebrity to make it on the list. If you are making meaningful dollar impact and quantifiable impact at your organization, you are qualified. You do not need to be a business owner or a founder or a hotshot celebrity to make it on the list. If you are making meaningful dollar impact and quantifiable impact at your organization, you are qualified. Now, 2 options. You can be nominated by someone that is in your organization that wants to write this letter for you, or you can nominate yourself. I personally chose to nominate myself. Self-confidence, also, who knows how to tell my story better than me? So I highly recommend everyone doing that. You can also have several people send in your nominations. One thing I definitely recommend, now being on the other side of this process, is making sure you have someone you know that has been on a prior list send in a nomination letter for you. Actually, the Forbes team let us know here that there is priority given to people that are nominated by former listers. And I can definitely say that someone that I nominated got on the list as well. So vouch for that. Now, do not only go to a former lister with an ask for a nomination without giving them the proper materials or genuinely caring about their opinion. I have been asked by several people, but I unfortunately didn't write a recommendation letter for everyone just because their intent wasn't proper, or I just think they needed to do a little bit more research and put in some more work, but I gave them recommendations on what those next steps could be. Now, there are several different industries, specifically about 20 that the list has, and they are continuously adding in new industries. So try to find the two that work the best for you. There are two opportunities on the application process for you to write in what department you belong in and what list you think you'd belong in. Now, in the actual questionnaire essay form, you can speak to your experience, and they might be able to allocate you into a different category based on your experience and the level of impact that you have. The second part of this is the PR portion. You want to add as many links and name drop every single place that you have ever done a panel, if you have had an article published, if you've published an article with a lot of traction, if you have a personal brand or anything, drop it all. All of those awards will definitely give you that edge up, because all you're doing is verifying with Forbes, hey, this person already has this thought leadership industry check from their local community or from people in the industry. So it really just does give you a level up. Now, I am gonna let you know there is a limit on the characters on that. So all I did was create a ton of bit.ly links and just attach them side by side and give a small text preview of what the link was. I think I was able to put in over 20 links on that and really just reference a lot of things from the awards that I've won, as well as my personal brand. It's important to recognize Forbes is an industry leader when it comes to recognizing people that make financial disruption in their industries. So typically, a good benchmark number is either raising $1 million, making $1 million in revenue, or generating $1 million somehow will put you at the top of the list. But it does not mean you for sure get on because of that, but it definitely is a point that they look at. Now, I can tell you, I brought in $250,000, but from big industry partners like Nike, Adidas, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Under Armour. And so that kind of had that same quantifiable impact with those big industry names. So once again, name drop as much as possible, but make sure they are your real clients, you really did make an impact. So there's really only two questions, essay questions you have to answer during the application. Number one, why do you belong on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list? And two, is there anything else we need to know about you? Now, please note, there is a 500 word max to this. So you want to be very intentional with your verbiage and make sure you get your main points across while still highlighting your personality. Now, I can personally tell you, I am not really great at talking about my accomplishments, and my boyfriend actually had to help me write my letter and nominate myself. Something that we did was actually write the letter in third person. That way, you're talking about yourself as if you're your friend and highlighting all of their achievements. But you want to tell a story while you were doing it. Now, the way I specifically liked to split it up was use the why do you belong on the list to characterize myself in the industry as a disruptor. So we're talking financial gains, we're talking who our biggest clients were, what our actual big market size is, and the potential for our industry disruption. And then also talking about my personal brand and the community impact I've had. So I think all of that is really great to tie in as a 5-step structure of how to communicate properly why you belong on the list. Have that confidence, but also make sure they know they need you on the list because you are going to be the disruptor in that specific industry. So don't be afraid to let it all out, but also be humble enough to ask and say that, hey, I want to work with you guys, and this partnership that we would have together would continue to make this bigger level impact. So make sure you tie that in somehow. Now, for the second question, anything else we should know about you? I think this is the chance for us to really get vulnerable and talk about, if we're founders of color, any adversity that we've gone through and why we belong on the list, but what we're gonna do if we get on the list. And I think this is really the biggest difference I've seen between people that make it and then don't make it. Because a lot of people are really good at articulating their awards, their skills, and businesses, but they can't articulate why they themselves are the leader. So I would tell you to actually do this challenge that I give most of my friends, which is get on video like this and do a 30-second or 60-second reel about why you matter. Why are you the person to solve the problem that you're solving? Why is it that you are going to be the one that's going to inspire a whole new generation of other leaders like you? Think about the organization Forbes, right? They want to create millionaires and billionaires that have these big ideas, but also create opportunities for other people. So when we have that mindset, when we're answering the question, then we can say, what I said was, look, this isn't just about me getting on the list. This is about inspiring a whole generation of other brown women that look like me to know that, hey, if Umama is vulnerable and literally just shows us her hard days, then if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's exactly what I articulated in the letter. And I can definitely say that's one of the reasons I connect so well with the Forbes team. So I would add in some layer of vulnerability, but forward looking as to what you're gonna do to help grow the organization.